There's literally old videos from, I think it's 95 or 96, somewhere in there, where Kris Jenner was selling magical candles.
It's like if we check Kanye on his things and we do it publicly, then we have to acknowledge all the things that we've been doing.
We all need to be taking care of our mental health, whether we want to or not, whether it's comfortable or not, because since when is change ever comfortable, you know? So
I was like, yo, why did I not know who this woman was? Like, why was she hidden from me? Why did we get her in like high school? So amazing.
Because it was probably just what you needed, so they gave you what they wanted you to have.
Very true. This is very true.
I mean, why not? You know, like it's like I said before, the old saying is, if you want to hide something from a black person, put it in a book. At this particular point in the game,
except the Bible, but that's neither here nor there.
Hey guys, Besa Gordon here. It's time for another episode of Rewind with Besa. Let me tell you something. This episode is going to be real interesting, okay? JC, as you guys know, it is Friday, so he's on the show, and we definitely did some background recording. So we're going to make sure we can splice all of that in here because, you know, we always talking about the things that don't make it on the episode. We're going to add some of this stuff to the episode today, all right? With that being said, we're going to go to the intro real quick, and then you already know we're going to bring in JC. I found it. Hi, JC.
Let me tell you something. You get so good at these intros, man. Because I was just about to say, he's like, I found it. Click.
As I'm scrolling, I'm like, I'm really
like, because I can see you. I'm like, girl, where that? You go. I was like, you finna say something else. And he was like, found it. I was like, yes.
Oh my God. How So, like I said, we already started talking, so we're going to make sure we can slice in some of the things that we talked about before, but let's give you guys a little background. In a nutty shell, Kanye West basically went on a nice little rant, okay? I want to say he went on about a 3-hour rant. I'm not sure what started the 3-hour rant. I just know it was a tingling, okay? He's saying everything from his kids are going to be going to his Donda school to why does Kim Kardashian get the decisions to decide what happens with their kids because she's white. He's talking about Charlamagne the God. And like, I don't know. There's just a lot of things happening. I think the Pete one is the one that really sent me because as you guys know, once Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson actually broke up, Pete Davidson decided to check himself into like basically a trauma center of some sort because of all like the bullying. I'll find a screenshot of like the exact place where he ended up going in terms of like where he, like why he went or whatever have you. But definitely blames Kanye West for it. And as you've seen on that little clip, he says, how is Pete doing with my kid's name tatted on his neck?
So first of all, you didn't tell me that part. Like you didn't tell me that he checked it. So like the face that this was actual, like I literally kind of forgot I was on camera for like 30 seconds. I'm like, wait, what? He did. He did what?
I missed that part. Oh yeah, he checked himself in. Like he was dead. Like Kanye is serious when he says, "How is he doing?" Like he's actually checked in right about now, and he checked in after the breakup because Kanye West ended up posting up a whole post that said Pete Davidson dead at, and it basically put like the date that him and Kardashian broke up. Or did it say Skeet? You never know what Kanye.
It probably says Skeet. Knowing Kanye, that said Skeet. It was Skeet. R.I.P. Skeet. Wow, them candles, man. Them candles. I swear to God, them candles.
Oh, and then one step further than the candles. Went the Met Gala. She was Marilyn Monroe.
Okay.
Did you go? She got the Marilyn Monroe dress, the exact dress that Marilyn Monroe wore. I want to say it's the one when she sung to the president.
Right.
She had to lose like 19 or something crazy pounds for that. And she went to go get the dress from Ripley's Believe It or Not. And while she was there, they gave Kim Kardashian a lock of Marilyn Monroe's hair. And then Kim K was like, oh my goodness, I'm so happy. I'm going to do some crazy voodoo-ish with this later.
So this reminds me of how like they always talk about like how everything that you see in the movies is real, and they just trying to like prime you so that way this
predictive
is
programming.
Carrie. Oh my god, because you know they Armenian, and I don't know. I don't like to do this, but like it was brought to me actually by my loctician. I don't have locks anymore, so she's just my hairdresser. Like she does all my color and stuff. But like it was actually brought to me. Like I was in the shop and I was getting my hair did, and they were like, yeah, and the whole thing with Travis Scott happened, and they were talking about how like they're from Armenia and gypsies. Okay, full on stop. I don't know. I have people that I can ask, but it's currently like excuse me, it's currently like 4 a.m. where they are, so I'm not calling nobody. But I don't know if gypsy is a slur. Please don't crucify me because I'm not sure. But like they talk about Armenians have that lineage, and those people were always thought to be doing evil eyes and hexes and so on and so forth. And part of that is actually true. Like part of that spiritualism is that it's kind of like Eastern European magic, if you will. And so to hear it, it's so many breadcrumbs that's leading to this gingerbread house that I ain't going in at all. And I'm just like, it's the candles, bruh. It's like you with this. I had no idea that Kris Jenner was selling magically like Kris candles. Like, right? Like, let me tell you something. That Kardashian vagina is just absolutely magical. Because the things that it has people doing of all the things that it has men doing of all colors. And maybe women too, because the twins. And what's her name? Chloe, child. Ain't no other reason. So
I'm very much into the fact that there's potential and there's portions and things that they do that is very witchcrafty. There's literally old videos from I think it's 95 or 96, somewhere in there, where Kris Jenner was selling magical candles. It was off some QVC.
Is it like the magic? Is it like the magically masculine sea moss that 19 Keys sells?
I don't know. Hold on. Now.
Oh, okay. I wanted to throw that in purposefully because I dislike those people. But yeah.
Because she used
now you gonna find the candles.
You see me type. Hold on.
God, deliver me from evil. Oh God.
Haha, I found it.
Okay. What you finna do? Share your screen?
Oh, this is cool. I didn't know I could do that.
Phenomenal. Mind-blowing.
Weeks of wisdom enhances your spirituality.
When I checked the bank, it showed money.
Once in a very long while, a truly remarkable product comes our way that challenges what we think and can dramatically improve our lives. Hello, I'm Kris Jenner. In the next few moments, you're going to discover a product that is so powerful.
And so, like, for you to show me that video, I was like, wait.
And she came out in all white.
And all white. On all white. Like on some very like that. If you don't know anything about anything, like that's very ritualistic. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm just like, wait, I don't want it. Take it back. Take it back. I don't want it. Whatever receipt at? A gift receipt? Gift card? What a store? Amazon?
I will pay you to take these candles.
I will pay, like I would not if someone sees this episode and it goes viral and I receive a candle in the mail, I'm not touching it. I'm throwing it immediately away. I'm saging my hands in my apartment. I'm saying a prayer. I'm calling on the ancestors because they try and get me. Like, and I'm just I don't want it. I don't want it. I would not like anything of it.
Nothing that we're saying isn't already on the internet. All I did was type in Kris Jenner candles and it popped. Okay, I didn't even really.
You with your cat meme, it was like. We took a dark turn. I'm coming back on the road. But what you got? Girl, go ahead.
Look, I was gonna go into this and this, but I feel like, you know, before the episode actually started, we talked a lot. And I think the final words that we can say here is when, you know, like when I was listening to your podcast where you're talking about Kanye West being in the sunken place and, you know, with what we're seeing in terms of happening now, and he's saying, I was driven crazy before, I'm not going crazy no more. Do you feel that Kanye West is finally out of his quote unquote sunken place?
So I don't know. Can I say that word on here? Because the name of it. Okay, so back in February of 2021, after a conversation I had with a close friend in regards to,
just be careful with the N word.
Okay, so I released an episode on my podcast, Get the Pod. I entitled it "Kanye West in the N-word Box." Right. And in this episode, I speak about how like certain people, mainly black men, straight black men anyway, like they reach a level of success where they start to realize that some of the things that they want are out of their reach simply because of the way that they look. And so, you know, to quote myself, I say the N-word box is like the bird box, but for N-words. And so I can't believe I say some of the things I say. But but like, yeah, essentially it's talking about like how Kanye is essentially done all of the things that Kanye wanted to do. And he still can't, like, you know, people still refer to Kanye as a rapper. Like after all of the things that he's done, all the accomplishments that he's had, you know, they constantly refer to Kanye West as a rapper, which is not incorrect. It's just that, you know, rapper is synonymous with black and black is synonymous with lesser than. And so when you're in these spaces that Kanye frequents, you know, and you're trying to break the ceiling and go up called oppression, you're trying to break through the ceiling of oppression. And, you know, at every single facet, you're reminded of your blackness. You know, it can be kind of like mentally a mind F, like, you know what I'm saying, to literally like be like, oh, okay, I've done all of these things, I've done all of this, you know, I've achieved this level of white manhood, but you still look at me as the kid, as the thug from the South Side, right? And you know, like if you aren't secure in yourself and you aren't secure in your blackness and how it presents, and understand truly how it works, then that can be a bit problematic for you. Yeah, so that was the whole. And some of the things that I have said, like I listened back because I sent the episode to you and I listened back and I was like, oh my God, am I a prophet? Like, I don't want to be right. Like, because in my mind, I asked the question in the episode, you know, this is when him and Kim was good. I was like, I don't know if Kanye West is mentally strong enough to understand that one day he could wake up and lose all of this at the hands of these women, this person that he laid down with and had kids with. I don't know if he's mentally strong enough to be able to actually like endure that and sojourner through that, right? And one of my friends said, well, he could and we not know. And I said, that's not who Kanye is. There's no way Kanye is going to go through something and he's not going to tweet storm about it, hence today. And, you know, I was just like, I don't like, it bothers me because Kanye is not in a good place mentally. And we all know that. We all know that. And it's like, wow, because it's like the inability or the unwillingness of straight black men to check their brother and be like, yo, you are doing past the most. You're doing all of it. You're doing the all. Like the inability of straight black men to do that are his peers, right, is disappointing. Like it's like, where's the, you know, because, you know, if we check Kanye, if we, and I say we, meaning collectively we and the peers in his space, it's like if we check Kanye on his things and we do it publicly, then we have to acknowledge all the things that we've been doing. And I don't want to check you because I don't want to deal with me and mine. So I'm gonna let you, I'm gonna live and let live. Even though we see this man quite literally flailing in the wind like it is the 12th round, 11th, 10th round, 11th round. He in the ring with Mike Tyson, and the refs is right there, but the refs ain't stopping the fight. And like we all see it, and it's just crazy because it's like nobody is saying anything. No one is saying anything, and it's like, yo, this man, it's clearly like he need help. He need actual help, and nobody's doing anything about it. It's just wild.
What's wild to me is like, I feel like when you are dealing with someone that has these mental issues like Kanye, and it's like you said in the podcast, we could talk about how, you know, it's bad because his mom died, but he had mental issues before. Like we can't sit here and act like, you know, his mom passed away and Kanye just started having issues. They were there. If not, they just get triggered more, and he doesn't probably have her here to help him get through them. But when you deal with people that do have these mental issues, I feel like it's on the same level as dealing with someone that continuously goes in and out of prison and isn't doing things to make their life better. If you don't want to put in the work, I can tap you all I want. But if you're not putting in that work to make a difference, after a while, I'm wasting my time because obviously you don't want to make the change. I can give you step by step blueprint. I could pick you up every day, try to make sure you're taking that. But mentally, if you don't want to fix it, mentally, you're not doing the work. Mentally, you're going to therapy, but you're mentally checked out. You don't want to have the conversations. You don't want to do the exercises. You just honestly
and
think
he said he's done with therapy. He said that. He said that. Like he said that on Netflix. He said that.
And you see what I'm saying? So it's like, if you aren't willing to do that work, if you're just like, oh, I'm absolutely fine. Or in his particular case where he's saying stuff like, where's that one little one? Where he's like, you know, he was driven crazy before. He's not going crazy anymore. You know, I won't stop until I have a say so on my kids, no matter what it legally takes. Well, if you're not mentally stable, good sir, you're not going to have much of a say in what's happening with you. And
you're not like helping your case. She is going to have, that family is going to have all rights to them kids because of how much of a donkey you are acting in front of everyone. Like everyone.
Pete Davidson has his own mental health issues, and you're making fun of him with the issues. And you're saying you want your kids. A judge is going to look at his social media and be like, well, you want me to do what? And my whole point in saying all of that is, I think not. My whole point in saying that, though, is if you know that you want your kids and you were actually in your right mind, why would you do this? Why would you post things like this? Why would you say things like this?
And Christian and candles is the reason why. It's probably one burning in his house right now.
He probably don't even know it.
He probably don't even know it.
Put it somewhere. Because it doesn't make any sense. Any logical person that wants their children, they're not going to do all of this stuff that he's doing right now. Knowing good and well that the courts are going to be able to see this, knowing good and well that people are taking screenshots. If I'm not mistaken, he fired like a bunch of his divorce attorneys. So there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff mentally going on with Kanye West, to where I'm like, there's no way that he's out of the sunken place. Because like you said, if he ever was and he realized it, he would have told us. So at this particular point, I'm no doctor, but we're definitely not dealing with Kanye at his best mentally. And I think that his biggest trigger happens to be his children. And if he's not able to see his children or be around his children, especially when his children are potentially around other men that he doesn't want them to be around, it's a trigger. And he's not
which, you know, to his credit, like there's a point to that. Like, these are my kids. Like, who do you have my kids around? Like, you know what I'm saying? Too, you know, like he's not crazy in that way. And I hate to use the word crazy, but like he's not mentally unstable in that context, right? A father should care about his children. What a father should not do is publicly attack, threaten, make videos about murdering the mother of his child's boyfriend, then harass and harangue publicly the mother of your children, and then do creepy stalker things like buy a house right across the street. Like you can't I don't, but that's the like, and that's the thing about it. Like Kanye, I don't know, man. Like I don't know. Like I don't even like talking about Kanye. Like I made a post a long time ago. I was like R.I.P. Kanye, and it was like, oh, he died. I was like, I mean, to me, I know Kanye ain't been alive to me for a while because that not the Kanye that we had, the George Bush doesn't care about black people. That Kanye, and to be fair, if we look at stuff like that, Kanye West has always been a bipolar manic depressive. Like he, I think his mom was just able to, with the help of Jesus and praying, as the blacks do, I think she was able to kind of like put it. But Kanye West has always been that human. But I just without the
you can even see it in Genius.
Right. Kanye West has always been that.
Progressing and just getting more and more manic and more chemically imbalanced. Like if you really sit there and you're watching it and you actually process what you're watching rather than just being like, what the heck happened? No, like really process it. You can slowly see it happening until we get where we are now. And whether he always takes his medication or not, whether the Kardashians are like, child, we tried to get him help and he just didn't want it. So at this particular case, it kind of just is what it is. And it's definitely a very, very sad thing to see someone that's such a legend in hip hop be like this on social media. No matter how much Jay-Z and Beyonce go through, we don't really see that on social media.
No.
And what's even crazier about this is that there's actual black men that are like this in reality. We just don't get to see it because they're not Kanye West, so it's not going viral. So I really think that we need to make sure that we're really paying attention to these kind of signs with our people that don't want to get help, don't want to go to a therapist, don't want to take their medication, don't want to mentally come to the grips that they do have a chemical imbalance and it's not healthy for them or necessarily even the people around them. Like we all need to be taking care of our mental health, whether we want to or not, whether it's comfortable or not, because since when is change ever comfortable,
It's not. And it's just like, and I think about, in my own family there, I have members of my family that, would classically be called bipolar, right? That go through deeply manic episodes. And the thing that was always said was, oh, that's just them. That's just how they are. That's just blah, blah. And it's like, yes, all of these things are true. However, there are medical terms for these things. There are like, this person may or may not be completely balanced. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just, or, depression or just like, I have a close personal friend of mine who was going through depression and we were younger and I didn't realize that this was happening. I didn't know what this was because I didn't understand that A, this is happening, but B, we go through this, right? And so I wasn't trained to be able to recognize the signs. I would just see this person and think that this person was, lazy or dirty or whatever else. Like, and God forbid, I'm not helping the situation because I'm not giving this person I'm not giving this person the emotional support that they need because I don't know how to do that. Like, I'm a Capricorn. We don't do that very well. Like, you know what I'm saying? On top of that, and I'm like in my early 20s, like, what is this? What is depression? How does you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what to do with that. And it's just kind of like when I think about how these things manifest in our community and how we just kind of like sweep it under the rug and how we don't really talk about it or God forbid, like there's always this thing like in the queer community, especially in the queer black community, we always talk about how black people will protect the pedophiles but try to put out the gay folk. And it's like, fam, hold on. But so you going to be mad at me because me and my boyfriend, but you're not going to say anything about Uncle Johnny, your daughter or your son? Like, this is how we do? You're going to sweep that under the rug. But God forbid, I'm choosing my words very carefully because what I want to say is God forbid. I was like, the weekends. But like, I was like, I can't say that. I can't say that. That's why I was like, I'm choosing my words very carefully. Like, but like, yeah, no, like just the way in which that our community functions with certain things is just not healthy or beneficial. And to our credit, we're just now getting to the point where we allow space, latitude, and the ability to express as Black people. And I mean, I'm sure you can speak to this as a Black woman, a quote unquote strong Black woman. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just these exactly. Just
I need help carrying my groceries too.
exactly. And it's like, and just like Kanye right now, what we're going through, what we're seeing is, on the one hand, I think it's needed to be able to see a Black person, specifically a Black man, specifically a straight Black man, actually go through something, so that way everyone can see that we as Black men are human. You know what I'm saying? But I just also hate that is this Black man going through this thing with these people and everyone watching and all of his peers not saying nothing. Like, I just think that is just crazily wild to me.
But to be fair, again, they might have tried to say something before.
That's facts.
And they could have raved. They could be like, you know what? I tried.
That's facts.
I tried. And at this point, I got my own kids to take care of. I'm just gonna sit in great vibe. Like, I mean, you can only try for so long. So, look, you guys, we're gonna go to commercial break. However, in the meantime, between time, when we come back, we're gonna have JC give us some tips on how to not be a basic, you know what.
I forgot about that.
Hey y'all, my name is Nicole Harvey and I proudly serve as the Director of Community and Family Engagement at Seattle Jazz Ed, and I'm here to let y'all know that we're getting to launch our fall programming the first week of October. So if you're a student or you know a student between the grades 4 through 12 that is interested in playing music, whether they're a beginner or they've been playing for a long time, we have saved a seat for you. For more information, please visit our website at www.seattlejazzed.org. All of our programs and classes are offered on a sliding scale tuition policy, which means that families get to choose what they pay, no questions asked. We also have free loaner instruments available for every student to use. If you have questions, you're welcome to contact us via email or by phone at programs@seattlejazzed.org or 206-324-5299.
We are literally on our way back from Vegas. We had an amazing trip. Got some good interviews coming up for you guys, so definitely stay locked for that.
Look like water on my island. Long way from running from the siren. Take a long way, been hella fly. I'm a pilot. I get what I want if I like it. Like it, yeah. If I like it. If I like it, yeah. If I like it.
What's up? Converge Media in the building. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
We're gonna have to come back to Vegas real soon because it's really lit. Welcome back to Rewind with Besa. Hey, how you doing? Hope y'all doing mighty fine. As usual, JC and I have taken like 5 loop-de-loops on one time. Started out about Kanye West and his tweets, and then we done went into how Black people need therapy. And I'm okay with that.
For free. It should be part of the reparations package. I'm just saying. Yes, I'm for reparations. Surprise, surprise. Me for reparations? No. Florals in spring? Groundbreaking. But yeah, no. Okay.
So I was on social media perusing as usual, and I ended up seeing this really dope video on JC's page called Why Your Relationships Are Toxic. Okay. I'm going to clip it down because it's 4 minutes. You guys know to head on over to the OVT network to watch the full video. But we're going to give you guys a little snippet of it. And then we're going to give you guys some tips on how to not be so basic. Okay?
Hey, what's up, y'all? Hold on. Thought it was about the basics. Hold on. All right. Now that I got on the proper headgear, we're going to get into that I know some of y'all don't want to talk about. The reason why y'all in relationships is toxic. And it's really not a secret. It's really simple. The reason why y'all's relationships are toxic is because y'all is basic.
Oh my God, Judy! The ways in which you communicate, basic. The ways in which you think, basic. The ways in which you carry and develop relationship, basic. Your life experiences, your family, your friends, they just basic, so you basic. Some of y'all are saying, oh, this is an insult. No, to be basic is not an insult. To be basic means that you have the ability to upgrade oneself from basic to something worth a damn. Because just like I said in my past videos, there are people in this world that are amazing by themselves, but can be horrible in tandem with someone else. There are people in this world that could be a blessing to everyone that they meet and a curse to the person that they are in a relationship with. You walk around a whole jinx up this motherfucker's life.
So, okay. Toxic relationships because you're basic. Quick explanation of why you decided to do that video.
Okay, so that was part of a set of what I call personal development videos, and inside of personal development, there was like 2 or 3 devoted specifically to relationships. And these videos, I was very careful to not use like any gendered language, not to speak about anyone in specific, because I really want these videos to like connect to everyone, like, because these things matter to everyone. It doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, pansexual, lesbian, whatever, you're still going to want to be in a relationship with another human being. And so human beings, like, you know, we go through things. And, you know, the first video on the set was why you're a good human but a bad partner. And then to pick up from that, this is why your relationships are toxic. And basically, you know, kind of like as the clip said, your relationships are toxic because you're toxic, and you're toxic because you're basic. And when I say basic, I really don't mean it as an insult, because there's basic things that work. You can have basic cable. That doesn't work. But like you can have that was a bad example. That was a horrible example. But I can't think of things that are big, but like there are good basic things, you know, simple things. But like relationships are complex organisms. And they're symbiotic, right? So you guys will literally feed off of each other. And so if you don't have the tools to go past a base relational skills, your relationships are inherently going to not work, inherently going to be toxic, because you don't know how to supersede the bad behavior, right? Mm-hmm. You know, arguments happen because someone does something that upsets the other person. And so if you do not know how to communicate properly, and then if you don't know how to communicate, one, and you don't also know how to be communicated to, and then be able to like literally talk through the issue, the communication is the relationship. The communication is the basis of every single human relationship on the planet, right? The relationship is literally what you talk about and what you don't talk about. That is the relationship. So if you're not talking, you're talking incorrectly, you're yelling instead of talking, or you're talking when you need to be yelling, like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you don't know the basics of communication, it's not gonna work.
Outside of communication, what would you say your top, 3 to 5 things on how to not be a basic person in general? Like, how can you either not be or upgrade your basicness?
Okay. So we can go from how to not be basic. Read. Reading is so fundamental. Reading will change your life. And a lot of people don't like to read and then wonder why they don't know things. Like our entire American society, globally as well, is going towards that. Like if you put something in paragraph form, nobody's going to read it. But if I put it in video, 1,000 people will watch it, right? And a lot of information that you need is not going to be in video form. It's going to be in a form that you actually have to do a little bit more concentration on. So I would say read, right? That's the first thing. Read. 2, seek out content that enriches you, right? Seek out things that enrich you, like whether that be yoga, whether that be going to the gym every day and going boxing, whether that be skating, whether that be listening to inspiring podcasts or media, right? The things that you put into your head. The things that you listen to, the things that you watch, they all go inside of your head, and they all sit inside of your subconscious. So be very careful of the things that you put into or around your environment, because all of those things, your brain is a sponge. Your brain is soaking all of this up. You never forget anything. All of your memories are stored in here. You might not have access to them, right? But you never truly forget anything. So I would say curate the content that you search out, something to be positive, something that's going to make you better. And the third thing, learn how to communicate. Because like I said, relationships are talking, right? Your relationships are going to be the things that you say and the things that you don't say, the things that you do and the things that you don't do. That is the basis of all human relationships on the planet. So just get really good at communicating. And I know specifically talking about Black folk, my people, we kind of suck at that, but we're getting better. But like, yes, specifically, like, you have to learn how to communicate. He who can communicate can cultivate. That's something that I always say. And that is so the truth. So read, curate, inspirational, good, feel good, positive material, high frequency, high vibrational material, and then learn how to communicate. Those would be. Do
you have any book recommendations off the top of your head?
Ooh, book recommendations. The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles is one of my favorite books.
Ooh, I read that.
That book is good. That book changed my life.
I lie. I'm dyslexic, so sometimes it just takes too long. So I listen to it. So I'm a big Audible girl.
Right, I got Audible too.
I get the books. I just
all day. It's like
homegirl. What was it? You Are a Badass or something like that.
Okay.
It's the orange one. I sent her that with one of my Audible credits. Okay. I got like 60 books on there.
I'm trying to find like some books that and it was like, what was another book that was so good? It kind of changed my life. Personally, like on a religion tip, there was a book called, I'm a big Anne Rice fan, like Anne Rice pre-Jesus, not after, because then I got weird. But like, I'm a big Anne Rice fan, and she wrote this book called Memnoch the Devil. That book was amazing. It changed the way I looked at religion entirely. And then what would I say is the third book? It's kind of, I'm listening to a book right now that I fell in love with within the first like 10 minutes, Sapiens. And that book is that is a long read or a long listen, but it's by Yuval Noah Harari. That book is amazing. It's a chronicling of anthropology, of human history from like the dawn, like when we got here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is such a good book. That book actually inspired the research that led to me finding out that the words homo and heterosexual are improperly used because they don't. Yeah, it's called Sapiens. I'll send it to you. It's called Sapiens. But yeah, Sapiens. That book,
white with red rice.
Absolutely. Sapiens. Yeah, that book is good. Oh, and another one. Bonus credit. The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. That book is very good as well. I love that book as well. So yeah, those would be my things. Another honorable mention, Parable of the Sower by Octavia Butler. That book changed my life. That book, she says in the book repeatedly, God has changed and change is God. And I was like, woo.
So I've downloaded 3 of the 5 already. Y'all better get it.
That book, man, that book is something serious, man. Like, I was like, Octavia Butler. Why did I not know who Octavia Butler was until, like, you know, my great friend, shout out to Adrian. I was like, yo, why did I not know who this woman was? Like, why was she hitting for me? Why did we get her in like high school? Like, so amazing.
Because it was probably just what you needed, so they gave you what they wanted you to have.
This is very true. She's like the OG of Black science fiction. Like, just so OG. Just.
I'm gonna grab all these books actually. I mean, why not? You know, like it's like I said before. The old saying is, if you want to hide something from a Black person, put it in a book. At this particular point in the game,
except the Bible, but that's neither here nor there.
as dyslexic.
Y'all don't read that. Y'all don't read that either. Let me stop. I'm sorry. I'm gonna hop off this soapbox. As you were saying, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Me being as dyslexic as I am, I actually had to test out by memorizing the little book binder that they gave me. Just because that's how I can picture, remember things. So I took it a couple times, and then by the third time, I had it memorized, and that was how I was able to like test out of the just irritating classes that they were giving me, because I'm like, look, it is my senior year. You guys have me in all these like dope classes. I need to fully get out of this. Like I'm over here in pre-cal and stuff like that, and they still got me in like this one stupid advisory class. I was like, I don't have time for this for my senior year, so I had to like test out of it, and that was my only way to test out, was by memorizing the freaking book. So
let me just say that. Let me give you your flowers on that, because like, and this is why I love Black people, like specifically Black women. Y'all are so amazing. Like to test out of something, you memorized a book. Not even like you could like, and I always say this about the education system, and you know, my teacher friends, we go backwards and forwards, and you know, I defer to them because they know more than I do, because God bless y'all and them damn kids. I ain't doing it. But like, I don't like kids that I don't know. For real.
My plant is emotional enough, man.
Thank you. I got one that's dying right now. I'm just like, why? Why are you doing this?
I'm just like, girl, it wasn't even that hot today. What are you doing?
But like I always say, like, yo, like if you judge a fish by how well it can fly, it's always gonna be a loser, right? It's always gonna be stupid. And it's not about you having a reading disability. That's fine. You still memorize the whole goddamn book too. Like, what are you saying? Like, what are we saying right now? Is she not good enough, or are y'all not doing what she needs? Right? Like that's the whole thing for me. I'm just like, wait, what?
It's a matter of how I learn. I'm a visual learner. So when I actually went to college, I ended up getting like really, really good grades in my math class. But I got good grades because the math class was half on the board and then the other half was on the computer. And so by being on the computer, I was able to keep rewinding it, replaying it. And then like my notes were so good that people were copying my notes. Like they would take my notebook and I would let them because it just made sense to me, because I would see it being broken down in a computer way. They must have sent me to the next class, failed, because the next class wasn't on the computer. So the teacher was like, what is going on? Like you were like one of my best students last semester. I was like, I told you, I don't learn like that. Right. You guys can't hand me these books and think that it's gonna make sense to me. I was like, I can't process it that way. It just doesn't work that way. Like I need to be able to like keep watching it over and over again until it finally clicks. So
and something like math, and it's interesting because like something like math is such a like direct science, but you know, 1 + 1 will always equal 2. But you can take a few different methods to get there. And so like just because you don't take the method that we want you to, you are lesser than. And it's like, well, no, I just did like 8 other ways. And I mean, this one is cool, but like I don't get credit for this. Like, what you mean? Like, I still got here. I got here better than I got here. I got here you right. With traffic and everything on 85 in Atlanta. I'm still here. I'm here, baby. Like, what you mean? Like, you still on the freeway? Like, what? But I'm not. Okay, cool. You know, and I just. So kudos to you, because
thanks.
I was in algebra 100 in college. I think it was like 99, and then I went to 100. So like I wasn't even in 101. Like math was never my strong suit. I was very my SAT scores were in the like top 10 percentile in the state or something like that. Like my literature scores, but that math, oh boy, baby, anything more than 2 + 2, 2 × 2, or 2 divided by 2, whoo. You asking a lot of me right now.
No, period. Like that was definitely me until that one class. And I was like, this just makes so much sense. But I guess I say all of that to say, when it comes to people being like, read this book, read that book, I don't think that it should slow you down just because you have dyslexia. Like I would have never read 48 Laws of Power if I did not have Audible, just because I picked up that book at the bookstore. I was like, okay, this is cute, but I don't have time for this. So by getting the Audible, I was able to replay the chapters and listen to it over and over again and take notes that way. So find a way to get your knowledge in, because I tell people all the time, I would not have been able to move my way through corporate America had I not read the books that I read.
Right.
Once I read those books, it's been up since then. Until I read those books, it was no good.
Reading is so clutch. Reading is so clutch. Reading is so clutch. Reading is so clutch. Matter of fact, I'm gonna say, like, on two, when I say curate good content, I would say, like, I am as emotionally intelligent and as understanding, I will say, as I am now, because I listen to and consume content by people that do not appear as I do, right? Mm-hmm. So that's content by women, that's content by trans people. I even listen to a lot of and intake a lot of content by white people or white men and women, because I like to. One of my things is I like to understand, and then I also love to be understood. So I'm always seeking for ways to be able to communicate with you on your level. I'm always doing that. And so, like, yeah, just like you said, like, reading is dive into content from someone that don't look like you or don't, you know, I'm like, just do that, because you'll never know. You'll be surprised at the perspectives that you'll get. You'll be surprised at the similarities and the differences, right? And you can learn something from that person's differences. And so, yeah, I'm with you on that. Like, read a book, read it. I'm not going to.
Or listen to it. That works too.
Listen to a book.
With that being said, you guys, we're going to go on one more commercial break, and then we're going to wrap up this very long ass episode.
I'm past patiently waiting. I'm passionately mashing every expectation, every action's an act of creation. I'm laughing in the face of casualties and sorrow. For the first time, I'm thinking past tomorrow. And I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. Hey, yo, I'm just a country. I'm not stuck in a bed. I'm not throwing away my shot. We're gonna ride. So it's time to take a shot. We're gonna ride. So it's time to take a shot. We're gonna rise up, rise up. It's time to take a shot. Rise up, take a shot. Rise up. It's time to take a shot. Rise up, take a shot. Shot. Hey, time to take a shot. Time to take a shot. And I am not throwing away my shot.
Hey guys, Besa Gordon here, and before heading to Belize, Trey Holiday and I had to make sure we linked up with our good friends over at Market Street Shoes to, of course, grab a few things for the trip. From bags to socks, shoes, sunglasses, earrings, and more. Before going on any trip, make sure you stop at Market Street Shoes. Trust me, you'll find just what you need to make your trip not only enjoyable, but fashionable.
Keep going.
I heard that. Yeah. The things that don't make it.
The things that don't make it.
Welcome back to Rewind with Besa. I'm Besa Gordon. Of course, we got my homie JC over here. It is Friday, and JC will be back, I want to say, on Wednesday. I don't have the thing in here, but yes, he will be back on Wednesday. Until you get back, JC, do you have any quick final words for the audience?
Read a book. Read it. No, I'm not doing that. Because I don't remember the song fully. I just remember Lil Jon was in it, and it was like a school bus, and it was like Short Bus Shawty was a thing. And then I'm really showing my age right now. Don't even worry about that. As always, words matter. Words matter. The words that you speak matter. The words that you speak to other people matter. The words that you speak to yourself matter 2, 3, 4, 500 times more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Words matter, man. Like, just be very careful with your words and the things that you say. Also, anything that I say, I want you to really know I'm a Capricorn with a Mercury and Aquarius, which means that anything that I say, I have done the time to actually research this bit by bit. I can give you a bibliography of the things and how I got it and where. So I'm not just, unlike most people, I'm not speaking out the side of my neck. I'm not just saying things to get likes or clicks or clickbait, although I do troll, but like I troll humanity. So like, what do you want? Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, I just, anything that I say, trust and believe. I don't say it lightly. I don't say it half-heartedly. I don't say it ignorantly. As a person that reads books, lots of them per year, I know what I be talking about. So yeah, words matter. Read books, and I know what I be talking about. That's it.
And of course, keep up with JC on social media at the OVT Network. That way you can see all of his videos and also get some thought-provoking things. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you guys can keep up with me on social media at Besa Gordon. And of course, my last words for you guys is to, like JC said, make sure you read a book. If you don't want to read it, get yourself some Audible. And of course, if you have to do anything, make sure that you always do at least one thing a day that your future will thank you for, even if that means getting a therapist or taking your medication. Okay. So until next time, you already know.
Somebody tell Kanye that.
Bye.